All right. So, big project here. Gonna do a haunted house. Hopefully this is interesting to watch. Buckle in, because it's gonna be a long set of videos. And I'll get into it. Hope you enjoy. So, I've made a grave error. It's not too grave, but you see I'm selecting some metallics here. You might be asking yourself, weird. I thought we already did metallics in the last video. And that would be true, but it seems I've made a mistake. For our footage hit list, we got bats, check. Inside stuff, check. Ghosts. At this point, I've already edited part 4. In that video, if you do recall, I said I lost footage. I wasn't recording, and my camera never had the footage. Well, upon some investigation.
Wait. That doesn't look very shiny. I've had the footage this whole time. I thought I didn't record it. Well, there's no going back.
So considering I have the footage and I already have it edited, I'm still going to release this as part 5. I just jumped the gun thinking that I lost the video in part 4. Like, if you look at the actual main clips, the highlights aren't there. And they're not there because I haven't done them yet at that point. I just thought that I did. Anyways, metallics. We'll get back into it. I'm going to start off on the magical doorway. So in previous videos, we did that with a green and purple mix. So we're basically just putting in little highlights just to make that door a bit more obvious so people could look in and see, oh, there's an extra thing here. It's not just a blank wall. I'm going for kind of like I'm trying to make it swirly, but it's kind of hard to get the brush in there to do a perfect swirl. I'm just trying to get a bit of brightness in there. Nothing will be perfect, and it's haunted, so it doesn't matter. Next will be the ghosts. You've already seen the main picture of this, but here I'm just doing small streaks, again sparingly using the highlight just to break apart the base coat of the dark ghost purple. So something I didn't detail in the last video was that I also did the back of the ghosts. Now it doesn't have to be as detailed as the front, because again, most people probably wouldn't even look there, but just to be consistent, and it's not too hard to do, I'm just putting little swirls and streaks of metallic just to keep things consistent, because it would bother me if we didn't do such things. So just moving to the other ghost here. Again, I really like how this purple catches the light, but with this metallic, a lot of it's going to be very similar advice, no matter if it's going to be the tendrils, ghosts, whatever, and it's just to use a little bit here and there, streaks of metallic, just to not cover up whatever you've painted previously, just to kind of enhance it, if that makes sense. So here, I was really liking how the tendrils were coming out, so I've started to just spill it out over the tiles as if it's like a growing mass of tendrils that's kind of taking over the local area. And remember, for the ends of tendrils, it's just like a quick finish to get to a fine point. So you start heavy on the brush and you just lighten it up and lift it off as you go across. The tendrils are kind of like a moving, changing mass. With all the colors and the metallics included, there's going to be some thicker placements of one color, and other tendrils will have a lot less of that color. I'm trying to invoke a feeling of like a shifting, moving thing rather than just like a painted line or tendril. So the idea is that these are kind of different ways a swirling tendril is catching the light, is what these different shades of purple is supposed to show. Now, obviously, it's kind of in the eyes of the beholder, so some people might see it, other people might not, or if you might just want to do your own thing, but that's what I was going for, and it looks cool, so yeehaw. The way I've done the base and every like preceding tendril is that I kind of start at the base and have one main line, and then I will do a couple offshoots of said main line. Some of them are going to be just as big, others just a little smaller, but generally I'll kind of follow that same pattern and just build off that main one, and have the occasional little dot up on top just to show like I guess in similar ways to a flame, how there'll be a flanker or a very end bit of a flame that's about to dissipate, but that's separated from the main burning mass. Basically, they start thicker and will get thinner. Any mistakes of the brush, if you dab too quickly or it's a bit messy, just build more tendrils off the messed up point. You could cover it up pretty good, and sometimes you get a really cool looking effect. When in doubt, put down the brush, quickly lift it off, and just try to do a quick small tendril that kind of ends in a nice point. And sometimes you will mess up the end, and that could be easily fixed. You just keep on making it longer until you get that nice like lift off point. So of course I needed to add metallic to the bottom of the bat, just because it's also part of the tendrils. Don't want to add too much because again I still want to leave the darkness of the bat, but it looks pretty cool. Especially in this next shot, you can see the lights really reflecting off that metallic. Man, it just looks cool. I really enjoyed this metallic. So, moving up the metallic to the cone, and I'm just putting little bits here and there on the wire. Again, just to really make it catch the light at certain points. In the last video, I talked about highlights and lowlights on the wire, and I just did that with the base paints. But now I'm going over it again with metallics. It just looks even better. I find metallic is basically at the highest highlight level. Just to give you another closer look on how it catches the light, I'm very happy with moving this around, and you can see as I rotate the piece, it just has a nice shiny texture, and it makes all like the kind of sticking out parts like the bats and the ghosts much more noticeable. So of course, I don't want to neglect the inside. At this point in the project, I've only painted the circles in blood, the magic circles. So now I'm going back, and I didn't want so much of that lightish blood color, so I'm adding metallic because even though it's so dark in there, hopefully that'll kind of catch the light a bit more. So I'm just angling around the inside just so I could get a good look at everything. And that should be it for the purple metallic. So next metallic, the green. We don't need nearly as much green as we did the purple. It's worth noting that you should always shake your paints, especially metallics. They separate pretty easily. So especially if it's sat for a while, it's good to give them a real nice shake to make sure all the metallic goodness is mixed in with the actual like paint or acrylic, or it'll come out clear otherwise. And now we'll add a little bit of green to this magical door. Now I was a bit messy with the purple, so I'm going to try to paint over some of the purple metallic with this new green metallic, and it should look pretty similar. They're both like equally strong metallics, so it should be they should stand out very nice. The door now is a bit more set apart than the purple of the tendrils, or the door is a bit separate than everything else, kind of a special gateway, I'm imagining. The green looks pretty cool over the purple swirls we added earlier in the video, because it's all now magic portal-y, so hopefully that'll give you plenty of ideas for any similar projects that you might do. So I still have some green metallic paint left, and I can't let a good metallic go to waste. So I've decided to add a little bit more to the blood door inside and do some cool like spooky witch markings over it. Didn't really have any particular idea with this. I kind of just went with whatever I first thought of. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. So I did at least get to show you my metallic methods or process, even though I touched on it in the last video, but at this point I refuse to go back and re-edit it because that's a lot of work, and I don't think it's a big deal. It's just gonna be on YouTube forever, and everybody's gonna know that I messed it up. But that's fine.